Stacey Lee Philander. Are you good?
I'm going back.
Are you ready? So, we are here for a specific reason. And I really don't want to steal your story, so I would like you to just explain why we are here today.
So today we're here because my cousin Stacey Lee Philander, she was going to be 33 years old in this month of March. So I just took it out of my initiative to do something special in honor of Stacey's birthday, which was on the 6th of March. So today we're collaborating, the family's collaborating with Auntie Marnie's kitchen here in the community of Ottery, just to like spoil the children a little with not only giving them some food, but like celebrating Stacey's life by having some cake with the children, and also to remember Stacey's story, because I think a lot of people has forgotten about Stacey's story. Especially Stacey was actually one of the first kids in this community to be brutally taken away from everyone in this community. So I just wanted to, I'm doing things in honor of Stacey because when Stacey was taken away from us, I was only 16 years old. So now I just think it's time for me to do my healing by giving back. So that is why we're here today.
Who was Stacey? For people who don't know.
When I hear Stacey's name, when someone's trying to talk about Stacey, I just smile because Stacey was an awesome girl. She was God-fearing, she was talented, she was sweet, soft-hearted, loved by all. She was just a bright child.
And if I can take you there, what happened to her?
Oh, I've never really spoken about this, so I'm going to go way back. When I was 16 years old.
Take your time.
Not even when I was 16 years old when she was taken away. Stacey was the guy that killed Stacey was obsessed with Stacey since she was 9 years old. He had an obsession with her. It started there. Stacey started complaining about this person that used to follow her, used to like do sexual signs, showing her, who shows a 9-year-old, things like this. She will come to us, speak about it. We obviously went to authorities about this, not me, but my family at the time. Went for papers to get against this guy because it's been going on like for years. Then it led up to the time of Stacey's murder, which was on the 30th of August 2001. She was on her way to school this morning. I remember the weekend before Stacey died was the last weekend I spent time with her. She asked me to do a hair for her. Stacey was, I used to call her my chocolate cousin. She was absolutely gorgeous. She had this dark skin, dark, thick, black, long hair, and I always used to do a hair for her. And that weekend she wanted me to do a hair because she was going to church the next day. And I remember the last words of Stacey was, so my family called me Lala, my childhood name. She said, and Stacey always used to call me Lala, she never used to call me Lindsay. She said, and she told me, Lala, if anything happens like to my mommy or the other aunties and uncles, are you going to step in and take care of Ma? Because my Ma was Stacey's pride and joy. my mom helped my auntie raise Stacey, and at the time Stacey was living by my granny, and I just couldn't, like, even up to today, it's like I still can't brush it off because why are you telling me this? And then I told her, yes, of course I'm going to step in and help more with whatever I need to do. And then after that, I left Stacey. I think it was that week she had to go to church. She had a lot of church duties to do. Like she was playing instruments in church, Sunday school choir. She was into things like that, school activities as well. And then it was a Thursday. I used to think Rossi Park High. And I remember that day at school, I was sitting in my class, registration class, talking to my friends. And my cousin stormed into the room, into the classroom, and she said, Lindsay, she was crying, weeping, and she said, Lindsay, it's Stacey. And when she told me that, I knew what it was. I went, took my bag and left, I left school, and we got here to the house. There was like a whole commotion. The cops, the community was all at the house of this person that killed Stacey. Still didn't know what happened. Got to the flat, and there was news reporters, cops everywhere, and community was stoning the house of this person. Went up, and then my pa was still standing and my mom was sitting in the chair crying, and I didn't understand what was really going on. I just thought maybe she got hurt and I'm still going to see her, until there was like the afternoon. They told us the evening 7 o'clock, when I realized like really what happened was when I was watching the news with my family and the neighbors, and then I was like, Stacey, maybe we're going to come back again. So that was like, it was heartbreaking. I was 16 years old and I could do nothing. I always wanted to do something for the school that Stacey's at now, where Stacey was at. I always wanted to do something for the children, but I was 16 years old. I was hurt. I was broken. I was in mourning. I had hatred inside of me for this person that did this to my cousin and to my family. And then I had to obviously deal with these things in order to start doing something to heal. And then I decided to start doing like little initiatives in honor of Stacey. So this is how I'm getting my healing. My family is still very raw. It looks from the outside that we're okay, but when you mention a name and people ask questions to go back, it hurts. It hurts.
I'm sorry for the next question. What exactly happened to her?
So on the way to school, she was walking with her friends to school. This guy came with a panga. And he hacked Stacey to death. Well, the position that I was told by my grandfather that found her, she was kneeled down with her hands covering her head, and he hacked her. He hacked her head and her fingertips of her hands. And then apparently after killing Stacey, he obviously, I don't know, he went to the police station and gave himself up. But today is not about him. I don't want to speak about him. I want to speak about my cousin and about my family that is still dealing with things. And not only my family, but the children that was walking with Stacey on her way to school. Those children are still going through things in their adult life. Today Stacey, in this month of her birthday, she's supposed to be 33 years old. Those kids are 33. They are parents. They are dealing with their own things now in this time because of someone that did something so gruesome in front of them. I had a talk with one of the teachers at the school that actually came out of the school that day, and she had to like literally, like, because obviously that she wasn't coming to school. So the children that didn't see the whole incident still saw Stacey's body nailed down there, coming, and she had to like let the children like surpass and not see everything. And she told me, Lindsay, those children were so traumatized that day. The teachers that was on the school at that time, they're no longer on that school because they are still shattered by this whole thing of Stacey. Even Mr. Baker, the principal, they are still traumatized of this whole thing, this whole incident that happened. I remember Stacey's best friend that walked with her that morning. I haven't been linked up with her in this time, but I hope sometime soon I can link up with her. But I remember her even, like children has been going through their own personal things in their homes. And then something like this happens to them, that's even piling up more things on top of them. So now you can imagine like what these people are going through.
So let's bring it back to you. A week prior, you were still brushing her hair. And then a week later, she's no longer there. 16 years old. How has it been for you?
I tried being the strong one in the family. I tried being the strong one in the family to do things. Because my mom always saw me as the stronger grandchild to take care of the little ones, Lindsay. But it's hard to be the strong one all the time. Because where am I going to go to and vent my feelings and things like that? But I just go back to the day when I did her hair, and then to hear that he had them on her head.
Same place you lost.
The same place the last time. The last thing that I touched on her was her head. And I remember the day my pa explained how he picked up her fingertips at the place where he murdered her, and pieces of her hair. I did my pa still brought pieces of her hair in a little vacuum sealed bag from the scene, because obviously they have to take the other parts of it. And yeah, he brought that back with him. And I remember I asked my pa's no longer with us anymore. I still remember I asked him, Pa, what is the last, like, your last picture of Stacey? Like, that Lindsay, she was in prayer position. She died in the position the way she lived her life. And that is just like, it gives me peace, because at the end of the day, I don't know what Stacey's praise was to God. Because I remember Stacey always to ask my mother, Auntie Sharon, can I come live by you guys? I don't want to live here anymore. This man is harassing me too much. I don't want to. He will follow her to church. He will follow her to the shop. There was a time my mom didn't want to send Stacey to the shop anymore. And I mean, the shop was like downstairs. One of her close friends used to live next to the house where he was living. So if she never wanted to walk alone to her friends, I always had to walk with her, or my brother used to have to walk with her next door. So she always had to walk with someone with her all the time, which means my cousin never had a childhood, really.
So her life was basically taken from her 3 years prior.
Exactly, and that is why I am so adamant of letting people know about Stacey's story. This is not a... I don't want to put it in this way, because I know these things hurt other people as well, but it's not like she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. This child was traumatized prior her life was taken away. And then not only that, my granny passed away 2 years after Stacey died because of a broken heart. And my granny was our life. Like, she was our life. And like to lose Stacey, and then so when Stacey died, I decided to move in by my granny. I left my mother's house and I told Mom I'm moving in by Mom because I can't leave Mom alone. Pa's going to work and Ma's alone. Who's going to take care of Ma? I moved in there, and a lot of news reporters were still coming in, and a lot of people came to come check up on my granny. So I didn't want my granny to be alone in that environment also. And obviously I had to still go to school like during the day. But yeah, then I go back to the part where they stoned their house. The committee stoned the house. Was it burnt down? Was it? I remember there was fire. They burnt the house. His mother couldn't live there anymore, and then I remember people came to my granny's house to ask if she can come back because she doesn't have a home anymore. She wants to come back to her house. And my granny was an old lady. And I remember when these people came to the house, my granny said, let her come back because at the end of the day, I'm an old lady. I wouldn't want to be in the same position that she's in, being taken out of her home because of what my child has done. She moved back in, and I think that is when it broke my granny.
Seeing the lady again.
Like opening a front door.
Not seeing her. That was on an Easter Sunday. We planned to have lunch by my mommy after church. She went to church, and everybody at the church door, they were like, they couldn't understand because Ma was like lighting up. It was like in the garden, touching the flowers, smiling, and it's like she said goodbye to everybody. And that day, that lady was moving in, and then on her way home, and Ma knew that she's moving in that day. On her way home, she just fall in. She wasn't a chronic patient. She didn't have any heart problems or nothing. And then she told my daddy that you go fetch the sisters. I'm gonna walk with Mario, my cousin. My auntie was sitting outside. She was still walking with him, and she just fall in. And they asked her, they call her Ola. Ola, what's wrong? And she said, no, she's fine. And then the second time she fall in again. And then one of the church brothers came to fetch her, took her to the fire station, where they treated her, and she passed away. She never actually got at home where she could see this lady move in.
So she knew she's gonna move. She didn't even see the lady.
She didn't see.
And that caused
yes, I think she wouldn't have handled that, like to open a door every day and watch this lady. Because her words was, she forgive. But I knew my mommy, she forgive, but she will never forget. And that broke her. The day when that lady moved back to her place.
How have you been dealing with it? Being the mom, the person who gave birth to this child. How have you been dealing with this?
Well, different ways. Because I had other two children. Carl was 3 and the Wayden was 5. I've been suffering until today. In the 2 years after Stacey's death, it's like it's not true. She is coming back. And I stayed in 6, 7 years. I was married. My husband lost his work. We've been struggling. but still surviving. And that morning I was alone in the house. Children went to school. And I was cleaning the house. I went to my room, I sat on my bed, and I just started crying. For no reason. I cried and cried. And I sat in front of my mirror. And I cried. I don't know why I cried, but I sat like this with my face. And as I cried, but I can't take my hands off my face because the mirror is there. I felt the bed go in, like somebody sitting next to me. And I feel the hand over my shoulder and I hear the voice and I knew it was Stacey. But I couldn't take my hand off. And she said the words was, "Mommy, don't worry, I'm okay." And I try after that to be strong because I got other 2 children to raise. I quit my job because I don't want me to walk alone to school. I said to myself, when they go to high school, I will start working again. And but still, even hearing a name, I will say I never actually deal with it yet. I'm not over it. It's been almost 20 years, but it still feels like yesterday. There's not a day that goes past it. She's not on my mind, thinking what type of person would she have been. Would I be the grandmother? What type of work would have she done? I know she would be very active in the Lord's house because that was her second house. But every day, is not a day that I'm not thinking of her. Making that picture of what kind of child she would have been. Even my other 2 children, we talk a lot, the brother, she was very close to her brother. We will always mention her name. Always.
How has the 2 little boys been doing on?
Girl and a boy. Wayden, I will say, he was 5, but he still remembers Stacey. He will always remember her. Because they were very close. Carla also, she was 3, but she knows Stacey as a sister. They will always talk something about Stacey. Stacey like this. Stacey did like that. Stacey had a thing, the favorite thing that she had is the brain.
Yeah.
That was her favorite thing. She will not go without the brain. And Lindsay them used to tear her over the brain. And yeah, and to see my mother pass away of a broken heart.
An injury upon injury.
Something I always try to tell myself, I forgive this person. But I think it's just words that I'm putting in my mind and thinking that I'm healing myself. But it's hard. They say forgiveness, to forgive somebody, you need to forgive somebody. You can forgive, but you can't forget. So how can you forgive if you can't forget about what happened? She's an innocent child. She would have gone to high school. She was accepted by Crosspark High. She would have come stay by me. Still worrying, not want to leave Ma alone. Pa's coming to work, and she's going to stay by me. Then Ma's going to be alone. I said to her, we'll deal with that when we get there. She was very much worried about my mom because it was only the 3 of them in the house. That week, the Monday, my uncle passed away at the beach, the 27th. We went to the family. It was in 6-7, I was staying in 5th Avenue that time. To the family. The Thursday I was doing washing. It was my husband's birthday. Thursday. The morning I stand up, went to the shop, phone mom, don't make supper, you're gonna come have supper there. It's a kid's birthday. And that day I did washing in the house, in the pot with the hand. And the sun was like dim outside, shining, it was hot outside, but I did washing inside. And then I did solo pull up. No one line and the EV pull up. And I was wondering what's the EV doing here, my auntie, where I'm staying now. The EV said, Mikael, we need to go to your mommy. Something happened to Stacey. When I heard that, then I said to God, please don't tell me you're right now.
Was your first thoughts?
Just like a fool. Just like I was thinking.
Don't tell me you're right now. And just after that, my daddy came. And I said, I still scolded my dad. I said, Daddy, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be by Stacey. He said, she to a hospital or what? And he just looked at me. He said, oh, Jim, son, in front of us, Stacey's daddy is yours. And then my auntie and the mommy, she was also on. And she grabbed me. And still I didn't have that picture that she's gone. And they took me to the scene. And up till today I don't know what happened. I just saw it. I don't know. Still not today I can't remember after that what happened. Up till today I don't have the pictures of a funeral. I only saw in the newspaper the pictures. I can't remember a funeral. It's just the pictures I saw in papers and news. That's it. But I try every day to, but like I said, it's hard.
It's hard. And especially like when, like I said, when Stacey was one of the first children in the community to be taken away. So every time when there's a child going missing and being murdered, it takes me back every time. Like, not taking me back of Stacey, it takes me back to the family. Like, yo, I know exactly what the family is going through. I know, like my auntie said, she can't even remember the funeral. People don't think also about things like that. Like, I can't even remember the funeral. All I remember was Stacey's coffin in front and all the school children was in a uniform sitting around the coffin and the church was full. But I can't remember seeing that coffin going away. I can't remember because of the hurt. We try to block things out like that.
Yeah.
So whenever a child goes missing or a child is murdered, or that is what I always think, like, I know exactly what that family is going through, and we need to pray for that family because that family needs prayer.
And it's not also that we didn't reach out for help.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We've been struggling for 3 years
Before she died.
To the police stations, interdicts, all the channels. The police, I can still remember, and I think that sergeant is the person that had the case. I think he passed on a year after Stacey's death. His words was, he did nothing yet. They can't do anything because he did nothing yet.
He did nothing yet to Stacey.
And we were like, oh, so what must he do? So what are you waiting for? That was the words. He did nothing yet. And we've been pleading, trying to do something, because why must we take her out of her comfort zone, away from her granny, which is so much concerned about and worried about her granny, to please that person. And then he will just go on to the next person. You understand? So they weren't there for us when we reached out.
Was there assistance in therapy? And I know there was a whole media frenzy, right? There was a whole media frenzy that when it happened.
Yeah.
And then what? What happened after that? After the funeral and the hype died, what then?
After the funeral, it was still like raw, everything. The case went on for 2 years after Stacey's death. Stacey was about 2 years gone. Then he got
He sentenced.
sentenced
For
life.
life.
That's what they said, for life. Life without parole. That was the thing.
Yes.
So I can't understand. And then
What can't you understand? Did he come out again?
we don't know. We don't know.
But I mean, in type of support, I mean, was there like counseling given to you guys?
Nothing. So it's 20 years later and you haven't gotten any
20
counseling.
years later.
No trauma
nothing.
counseling, nothing.
So
Oh.
it would seem, because you are a family on your own. You were living separately. Stacey was with her grandparents, which she was worried about. So just roughly 3 families that was like impacted with the instance of a death and nothing.
Nothing.
You were 16-year-old.
I was 16 years old. My mom, I'm the eldest of 5 children. My brother that was very close to Stacey, they were a year apart. They were like very attached. The day Stacey died was the day that my brother's whole life changed. My brother, he's not the same anymore. He's not the brother that, he doesn't go to family functions like we normally. Our family is very big. The Philanders is very huge. So we normally used to like have like 2 reunions in 1 year, just to like let the family get together and meet this one and meet that one. He don't go to reunions. He doesn't go to funerals because he see it like, my cousin has been taken away from me. Then my granny's been taken away from me. Like this whole trauma of one person that did this to my family is yeah. So my brother, he doesn't go to, I don't know the last time my aunt even saw my brother, because he don't want to be
I don't want
around.
to get attached again.
Yes, that is what it is. He doesn't like to be they don't go to family functions because he doesn't want to get attached to another family member the way he was with Stacey. So he's not really, he's got his own little family now, but he's not really like linked up with family because of that.
You might get hurt.
And the thing, Wayden is the same. My son, he's not a child that goes out, friends, party. He's just there. He got one friend who he goes to, which I always know, when I don't see her, I know he's there. He is, and I also see Lindsay talk about now the way
My brother.
her brother is. It clicks to me the same picture that Wayden is. Wayden is also not he family. He and my sister's child Wade is Wade and Wayden. They're very close. But he won't go out of his way to go visit Wade. He would rather stay, and if he go to my sister and they party, he will sit with her and watch TV or have a conversation with her or sit with the grandchild or so. And I think that is also the reason why he keep back. That he don't want to be like in the crowd and with family. He will never, I can say, he said to Lindsay, he also want to be here. But when Lindsay came, he wasn't there.
How's your husband been dealing with this?
Oh, Stacey died on his birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, it's not Stacey's dad. Stacey's stepfather, my auntie's husband. Stacey died on his birthday. So it was like, so that's like another
level.
Imagine you coming to your mother-in-law's house to find out on your birthday that your stepdaughter was just simply murdered. Stacey's dad, he's to him, this is his only daughter, and he is still mourning Stacey like she died yesterday. That's why he's not here today. He's completely broken. Whenever I see him and I walk into him, wherever, before he can even like say, like greet me, he wallows, he cries. Because I don't know, maybe my presence just reminds him of Stacey. So he's very raw.
So we already have 4 men in your family that has been broken by this.
Yeah, my husband never even celebrated his birthday
Since then.
since Stacey's passing. He is like just another day to him. It's not something to celebrate because he was murdered on his birthday. You think that we planned for his birthday and this happened.
There was another plan.
Yeah.
What is the way forward now for the family?
Just firstly, the only thing I want to say is that I'm actually proud of my auntie today. I'm very proud of her because this is actually the first time that she's actually speaking about this. After 20 years opening up like this. But I think counseling is needed. After 20 years, counseling is still needed. Healing is still needed. When I speak about forgiveness, I speak about I forgive for me to I forgive for my sake so that I can move on. But it doesn't make it okay for what he has done to my cousin and to my family. That is God's God deals with that. But I need to do it for my own sake and sanity. I forgive him. I moved on. I'm busy with my own healing. And everybody is different. Everybody heals different. And my healing is, this is the way I'm dealing with my healing. Yeah, our family has never ever gone for counseling. No one has ever come forward and offered anything. Knowing that even my granny passed away after this, like how broken must this family be? Like the head of this family has gone as well, with the youngest. Like how broken must this family? No one has ever. And I always just sit in the lounge when the news reporters come in. I remember I don't want to mention any names I think back then ETV just started, and then this popular presenter had her own show, and this was like a big story back then. Used to pop in and like get a scoop in there and then, and I used to sit there and I was like, no one, you're not talking about the things that's really needed here, man. Like, this lady's old. When you leave here, she goes to her bed, and I have to deal with my granny that's crying. But no one's asking, like, Lindsay, so how are you doing? How is your granny? Your granny's telling me she's okay, but how is she really doing? It's just like about the school. But
they forget these people behind.
But they forget these people behind.
People that must still raise families.
They must still raise families. No, I'm a single mom of 2. My daughter just turned 12. The same age group of Stacey. And watching my daughter grow up, I speak about Stacey to my children. My children know about Stacey. When I do my initiatives and stuff, they always like help in. They want to be involved in this. Because we need to install these things in our children. So when we no longer there, they know how to deal with these things. And they always ask questions about Stacey. They want to know the type of child that she was. My daughter does things that remind me of Stacey. I kind of keep my kids, those who's very close to me know that I keep my kids' lives a bit private. Because, you know, what happened to Stacey's, it's almost like you have to keep your guard up every time for certain things. And it's hard. It's hard. But yeah, today I just wanna honor my cousin from here on out. It's just all about Stacey. I want people to remember her for the person that she was, the child that she was. She was kind-hearted, she was soft, she loved dance, she loved singing, she loved playing instruments, she always wanted to dwell in the house of the Lord. She was amazing. That is a child that you always wanted to have with you in the house. She was funny, she was silly. She always used to like sweets and used to make her teeth go other colors. And I was like, Stacey, really? She was awesome. She was a real true blessing, and I understand why my granny was so overprotected over her. And I remember that long, thick black hair. But I always tell myself, like, when I sit down in my quiet time, if I have praise and desires for my heart, for what I go through in my life, what praise didn't Stacey also have? Like, you know what, Lord, if I have to live my life like this, in fear every single day of my life, then I would rather just want to be with you. That is the way I see the last days of Stacey.
And especially her last statement as well.
The last statement, the last things that she said, and the last thing she told my mom when she left the house, she said, I still have a little book at home with all the articles in there. She said, goodbye, Mom. That was her last words. And she closed.
I used to stand on the stairs every morning when she come to school, and she said, Ma, go inside, don't stand on the stairs, it's cold. Bye, Ma, I love you. That was her last words that she said. That morning she walked, she was a little bit late also.
Yeah, she was very
She walked about, for my mom it was late. She walked about 27 minutes past 7. That was late for my mom.
Ze moest aan die school geweest.
Ze moet naar school geweest now.
And they also, they like friends, they used to like collect each other along the way, because they walked this long.
But that morning she and Nicole walk alone.
Yes, they walked alone.
They walked alone. Started talking. As I get on the field, because the grass was still high, get on the field and he just popped out. That is what Nicole,
Our version of it.
our version, that was after a year, isn't a year or two, when I asked her really what happened with me. And I just saw him pop up, and she still said to Stacey, come here, come here. And Stacey just went on her knees and told her, go get help at school. And that's how Nicole went to school and go get help. And she just went on her knees. And when they came back, the next day he was gone. He went to go give himself up. Well, that was the last words that she said to my mom.
I think what this interview people should understand, that yes, we make a lot of frenzy about gender-based violence, but when the hype is gone, this is what is left. If ever, making the hype, I think, is good. We need that. But if you know of a family that has gone through something and they look okay, it's kind of nice, like, hè? Maar als dat binnenin gaan, I only see devastation right now. Yes, you guys are busy building yourself up, and it's gonna take long. I do think you guys need to give yourself time. We cannot put, she's been gone 20 years and so now we should be fine. Not only have you guys been living with it for 3 years of my child being haunted by a man. And then even by your actions of not running away, it's like, I can't deal. It's like exactly what you said, I can't deal with this anymore.
And why was a child even think that, man?
12 years old. 12 years old. That is what you had to deal with. And now you guys are left with rebuilding yourself. Because you took a space in this family.
Oh no, you did, definitely.
And it's gone now. It's missing. It's missing.
Like, I was 16 years old, I was young. But it's like, how can I even put it? I was 16 years old, she was younger than me. But I needed her more in my life than anything else. Because up until today, I still miss Stacey. I miss her. I miss her like, I think of her every single day. I just miss the person that she was. I miss her.
So, for communities out there, after the hype, let us not forget a family like this. Just counting the men already that has been affected through this family, without even the woman, how she is now raising her family in a bubble because she's so afraid of what might happen. We need to take this into account. And I'm really sorry for your loss. I know these words is probably it's just words. It's just words right now. You have lost a great person. I do not know her, but just through your spirits and what you thought, she took a place in this world. And I'm extremely sorry for what you had to go through. From Stanley's side, we will. This is not just a pop in and it's gone. We will definitely walk this path with him. If you will allow us to listen.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for opening up again. That wound. Just being in your family's presence today, the foundation is good. Keep building on that. Stanley, you have anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you very much. It took me also back. It also spoke to me. We need to do more about things like this. There's more families out there that are in the same situation as you. And I, as a man in the organization, as big as Cape Flip Stories, need to do more. You know what you said, people just coming to your space for a scoop. That's not what life is about. Life is about leaving something behind. So we're going to see who can assist you guys. We need to come back to you. It's not going to be right if we just take the story and go out there. But we're going to see how we can help you guys get counseling.
Also, that this past week has been, it was last week and this week, between the two of us, it's been very hectic. Like, especially with my side, where reporters were trying to get hold of me. I told my auntie, I don't know where it's going to get my number and whatever. They trying to get hold of me, they want to scoop. And in the same time, I saw Stanley posted something. And I was like, but this guy is like very different from the people that our family has been dealing with. They come with their pretentious, I don't know, I'm someone I read people very well, they don't. But then I was like, this guy looks very interesting. And then he got in contact with me, and then what he wanted to talk about was exactly the same things that I wanted to talk about. Where the things that they wanted to talk to me about was not things that I want to talk about. I do not want to talk about that man that took my cousin away. I do not want to talk about his family. I just want to embrace and honor my cousin's legacy. That is what it's all about. That's about Stacey. It's got nothing to do with anyone else. To the other families out there that's going through these things, mourning, broken hearts, I know exactly how they all feel. I know exactly how you guys all feel. I pray for those people as well, because in our time of mourning, we also had received a lot of praise, and I felt it in my family. It brought healing, it brought, I think after 7 years of Stacey's passing, I started taking the scales off and started like, you know what, I can't carry this anymore on me, because this is causing other things in my life now. I need to forgive this, I need to forgive, I need to move forward in my life, and that is the praise that this family wants. The family that's going through these things, that is the praise that they need. They need praise of give him time to forgive people so that they can move on, because like I had to do the forgiving part because I have kids on my own. I have to love for my kids, and they need to love for their kids, and that's how it goes on. I can't just think of myself anymore. So the forgiveness part is the hardest part, but it needs to be done. And we're not forgiving these people for what they've done to our kids and our families. We are forgiving so that we can move forward.
So that we can be released.
Yes, so we can be released, so that our blessings can come in abundantly.
Exactly.
And we can help others in humanity.
Break generational curses.
Exactly. Break those chains, break those barriers, break those bondages, because we do not want it to fall on our children's children. So, there's rumors that this man is out, but you know what, we leave that in.
We are only here to look after us, our well-being,
Yes.
our generation, our family, so that we can prosper and break barriers that our mothers and mothers' didn't do. And there's great things in store for your family, your children, but we unfortunately have to do the work. So, you're already on a good stance.
Lord, yeah, I am useless a whistle.
Yeah, but again, I mean, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank
It's
you,
in
Auntie.
that others are being healed.
Oh, absolutely. That is why I wanted to do this. I want people to know that it's been how many years, but look how far I can still look back to where my family was and where they are today. There's been healing in between, like, but just that everybody heals differently.
Yeah, and we must allow that. I think we must allow that. You can, not every plant grows the same way. Not every plant needs the same water or fertilizer. We are all different, and we need to accept that. You heal at a different space, at what Auntie is healing at, and it is okay. It is okay as long as we move forward.
And I'm here for my auntie, I'm here for all of them.
Also look after yourself.
Oh, yes.
I hear you taste what else, and you want to be strong for everyone. Look after yourself.